Series St. George, Thursdays at 9 on Fox. He's also back on the road, packing them in all over North America on the Listen to My Face tour. The show comes to Seattle's Moore Theater Friday night. You can link to tickets.com or bobrivers.com and grab some seats. George Lopez, it's been a while. Welcome back to the Bob Rivers Show. How are you, George?
I'm good, Bob. It's nice to hear your voice.
Yeah, you too. All right, I don't know where to start because the show coming to Seattle Friday night, 8 o'clock, Moore Theater. Big show. You got a brand new TV show Thursday night at 9 o'clock on Fox. You're working hard. And then you were in the news a little bit a couple weeks ago. You okay?
Yeah, it wasn't a couple weeks ago. It was actually like a month ago. So, let's get that right.
All right.
There wasn't a second, wasn't it? One day at a time,
right.
As they say.
Last Thursday, February 28th.
Right. 4 is not a couple, unless it's big shots of alcohol. And 4 is just a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, you're okay.
Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm good. You know, it's interesting, because, there's a lot of legitimate concern, but there's also, I think, more false concern. And that's more concerning than legitimate concern.
That's cool. I'm legitimate concerned. 'Cause I used to drink a lot, so I always when I hear something like that happen, I think, I hope I always just genuinely hope that because you're so freaking talented that I want you to just keep out there kicking ass and doing well.
No, I'm good, man. I haven't drank since I got up.
Right.
I think it's a good. Listen, I had a tumultuous. Every relationship I've ever been in with anybody that ever has loved me, I'm not going to say I love them, but anybody that's ever loved me has been tumultuous, and that's not a word that you kind of throw around every day. Mm. But that relationship with alcohol was one that you cannot win ever. So I have taken the standing 8 count and left it alone.
All right. Well, quietly rooting for you, and I just think you're incredibly talented and funny. So you're doing a lot now. You got the show. You got when you're doing the show, like, is it already in the can? You have 10 episodes.
All 10. Yeah, all 10 are done. They're good. They're good. They're good shows. It's interesting, because of social media and the internet and internet shows. The texture of entertainment is much broader than it was 12 years ago when my other show started. So it is watching television is not the same way it used to be. They put in DVR numbers, DVR plus 3 days, DVR
right.
plus 7 days. You really don't get a real legitimate number until probably 10 days. So all of that is it takes a little getting used to.
Right. So, for example, that's how I watch TV. I watch it when I want to watch it. So, I think I missed your first one. It's going to be Friday. Let's see. You're Friday at the Moore Theater. Your show is Thursday.
Thursdays at 9.
9 o'clock. So if I just go click on demand and watch it, like tonight, you get credit for it.
I think so. Yeah, I think you get credit because we're still into the last week's episode.
Right.
So, the live plus 7 is still.
But if I watch it next Wednesday, you get screwed.
Maybe.
They should give us the rules of etiquette to being nice to the people you like watching on TV, because they still use the whole Nielsen system, which I think is outdated. Right. Right.
The Nielsen family was a great family 70 years ago, but with cable and listen, man, we can't find an airplane, but you can find what somebody is.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that
unbelievable?
Yeah, it's crazy. By the way, I got an email last week from somebody that says, "Don't talk about Breaking Bad. I'm in the 3rd season." And so, do you ever think about that? Like, you have something else that went into syndication too, that people could be watching you for decades or even beyond your lifetime.
Well, I actually did a movie with Marissa Tomei. I produced a movie called "I'll Be the Robot." It's in the trailer. It's in with the Chavez movie. And I let my beard grow, my goatee grow, and I let my hair go gray right after I did St. George. So I looked completely different. That stuff was all underneath. And when I used to go, I went to CVS, and this lady says to me, "Damn, you got old." Didn't say hello. Didn't say.
That's nice.
That's always a sweet.
George Lopez. She just goes, "Damn," and I was like, "Is that the way you greet all the customers?" And she goes, "No, I just the ones that I saw yesterday that looked young, and today they look old."
Well, all right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you on Friday. Let's talk a little bit about the show. St. George. What's the premise?
The premise is a guy who's divorced, who's being held accountable by his ex-wife to be more of a parent to his child in divorce than he was in marriage because he was always working. And Danny Trejo, who's Machete, plays my uncle, and David Zayas from Dexter plays my cousin. So they kind of try to pull me into my past of my upbringing. So they're like the ghosts of the past, and the ex-wife and her modern-day beliefs and how a kid should be raised are kind of the ghosts of the future, and I'm trying to decide, the future of my life.
Mm. And Danny Trejo is the guy from Machete. Wow.
Thousand other things.
He's great. He's never done multi-camera work, and I'm almost, I have to say, not almost, I am the straight man to Danny Trejo.
Wow.
He's one of my favorite actors.
He's fantastic. And this show, he's so funny because he really is playing himself. He's the only actor that dresses in white Nikes, knee-high white socks, long Dickie shorts, a wife beater, a diamond bracelet, and a diamond necklace, and goes to work and wears the exact same clothes.
Yeah. He looks cool.
He spends no time in costume.
Save a ton on wardrobe.
Mm.
He just puts on cleaner shoes.
Mm. Now, I'm curious about something. I know you have some really famous friends, like Sandra Bullock. It's fairly well known. But I was curious. You had a tough childhood, and you talk about your childhood and coming up in difficult conditions. Do you still have? I'm curious about this. I have only maybe one or two. Do you still have a friend that you had when you were a teenager?
I do actually have a friend, Ernie. That I wrote actually about in the first show, and it's a little bit, Bob. I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I've known this guy my whole life. He hurt his back some years ago, and he hasn't really worked. And I help him out financially because he's a friend of mine, and I couldn't turn my back on him. But his back's hurting. He's getting a little bit heavy on my back after 3 years of this. I'm not gonna lie. He's getting a little heavy.
But you still have it, so that's kind of cool because, you're famous. You get to hang out with famous people and all of that. But you still have some a bud from the old days.
Does
he ask you for money?
Yeah, he does. He does. But it's always I hate to ask, and then they ask.
Right. I hate to ask. Here it comes.
Yeah, here it comes. But I give it to him. It's funny because I've been doing this for so long that I kind of don't remember what I was like when I didn't do this. That's kind of disconcerting sometimes.
By the way, as soon as you said you were giving out money to old friends, the phone's jammed up. Apparently, a bunch of people went to school with you, and they're no. Actually, there's a guy on the phone who's kind of famous himself. In fact, he's a living legend at what he does, and he wants to thank you for something.
All right.
And I'll tell you who it is. His name is Lee. His name is Lee Oscar. He was one of the original members of the band War.
Yes, of course.
He's the greatest harmonica player of all time. And Lee Oscar.
I saw him last year at the Playboy Jazz Festival.
Oh, no kidding. Lee Oscar, come on, say hi to George Lopez.
Hey, George.
Hey, Lee.
Hey, man, I just want to say thank you, man. That gave us a whole new life, man, that you embraced that tune Lowrider for your TV show. So, man, I just turned on the radio and heard you were on, and I had to say hello to you. I've never met you, but, man, I want to say thank you very much. Me and my colleagues, we all just talk about it all the time.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It was a great band. It's a great anthem, and it's a great song to be identified with.
Yeah, and by the way, Lee's still in the process of getting screwed over, right, Lee?
Well, I don't want to talk about that. I can tell you,
listen, anytime there's money involved and there's more than two hands, you're going to have problems.
All right. Hey.
I want to tell you, man, me and Howard Scott, B.B. Dickinson, Hale Brown, Richmond guys of War, we still jam and play the music like it's supposed to be played, and we call ourselves the Lowrider Band.
The Lowrider Band. So the fact that he's using that for the show is fantastic.
Well, you know what? That Lee and the guys that you mentioned are original members of the band. It was an amazing band, as good a band as you could put together at that time. the percussion, the
Yeah, we're still
percussion.
doing it.
Yeah, they're. I'd love to go see you guys. Those guys are brilliant musicians.
All right, Lee, thanks very much. Lee can open for you Friday
More
at the
theater.
More
Come
Theater.
out. I've seen Lee there several
Oh, yeah.
times. Great.
So, yeah, and George Lee's one of those guys. He's like got 4 out of the 5 original members. And I'm not even sure he's allowed to say conflict, much less war.
Police action's not a
when they actually play. So anyway, back to you. More Theater Friday.
But opening be the only way to get in, too. I think the thing's completely sold
It is.
out.
Is it totally sold out? Are you just talking to us because we're your radio friends and you're not trying to sell tickets?
Well, we are radio friends, but listen, man. Anybody wants to talk to me, I'll talk to them.
All right, very nice of you, and really all the best on getting well and being well, and you're incredibly talented, and I hope this new show kicks. If you do, how many shows do you have to do to get syndicated so that it runs forever?
Well, if it the last 6 episodes will be because NCAA basketball and people just finding it. The last 6 episodes will really decide if the show will continue or not, and if it doesn't, then I'll do something else. But
all right. Well, you have plenty to do. I read somewhere a little known fact I want to end with here. I read that your biggest fear is people who text and drive.
Absolutely, it is my biggest fear that I will be hit in a car by somebody not paying attention and texting.
Because it's incredibly dangerous, and you have no control. It's like a drunk driver, only maybe worse.
I've seen it. Every time I see it, it wigs me out. I honk the horn sometimes, and then sometimes I get startled, so I stop honking the horn. I just kind of give them the space as I would a drunk driver.
Yeah, it's definitely something to watch out for. Yeah, I'm surprised you drive, George. Don't you have people to do that for you?
Well, yeah, I got a guy that drives me, but I'm still in the car, man. I mean,
That's right. It doesn't matter if
He's
you're
got plenty of time to watch other people text and drive.
Oh,
if I'm gonna get T-boned, I got a 50% chance it's not gonna be me.
right. Oh, and one other last question, and you have a nice home. Do you have a kidney-shaped pool?
Let me take a look. I might.
Yeah.
And I only have 1 kidney. I do have a kidney-shaped pool. I only have 1 kidney and 1 pool.
All right. George Lopez. All right, we're going to come and see you.
They're both not mine.
Right. Both were donated. All right, we're going to see you on Friday at the Moore Theater. And everybody, watch George Lopez's show, St. George. It is on Thursday night, and all the information will be at bobrivers.com. Be well, George.
All right, thank you. Thank you.